Congressman Adam Schiff of California. He's the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee and a member of the Benghazi Committee. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
We all know that the discovery of this email server was a result of the investigation into Benghazi. Here we are now with this major revelation from Director Comey. Do you believe he acted inappropriately? Do you agree with Harry Reid that this may have been a violation of the law?
I agree with Eric Holder. I think this was a very serious error in judgment by the director. You don't talk about an investigation this close to an election. That's a very sound policy of the Department of Justice. You don't want to appear to be putting your hand on the scale. And here he opens up the FBI to the accusation that is trying to have an impact on the outcome. That's not good for the Bureau. It's not good for the public. And what's more, this letter that he sent was so deliberately ambiguous, and we now know it was ambiguous because he hadn't even seen the emails. That is the last kind of thing you want to send and publish, in effect, before an election, because it doesn't serve the public in any way. There's nothing they can conclude from this letter. It just raises a whole host of uncertainty. And I think it amplifies the mistake the director made when he started sending components of the investigative files to Congress. There's a sound reason for this department policy. It's out of fairness to anyone who's the subject of an investigation, but it's also designed to keep the department out of a political controversy close to an election.
What about the point made by Harry Reid that potentially there's explosive information related to ties between Donald Trump, his advisors, and Russia that the FBI may be privy to? He's calling on them to release this information or say more about it. Do you know of any bombshell related to this that Harry Reid alluded to?
You know, I can't comment on what the intelligence community may or may not be looking at, but this is precisely the kind of problem you get when you talk about an investigation this close to election, because it does open you up to criticism that you're being unfair to one side, that you're tipping the scales in favor of one side. You're talking about one investigation but potentially not talking about another. This is exactly the kind of problem you want to avoid, and it is, I think, only underscoring what a serious lapse in judgment it was for the director to weigh in as he did on Friday.
I know many have noted that it was just a few weeks ago that Democratic leaders were praising Director Comey. Donald Trump was slamming the FBI and Director Comey on the campaign trail. Now it appears to be reversed. But what has been striking, Congressman, is that you have people like former Representative Joe Walsh, who has dabbled in the fringe. Certainly, I think people would agree, saying now that he thinks that Comey should have said that basically he is criticizing Director Comey's decision here. You have Fox News anchor Judge Jeanine Pirro saying that she supports Donald Trump, but she also questions the actions of Comey as well. So you have Republicans who are also wondering aloud. Here we are on Monday. Where do you believe we will be Friday on this? Will we have more information from Comey?
Well, it's very hard to say what the director can do to try to clean up the mess that's been made. It's possible that if they can get through the emails, we can learn something that is of public value, that he can declare that they're either relevant or they're not relevant. They're either, well, actually, I don't know that he can make any kind of a classification decision if that was an issue. But at least he may be able to tell us the provenance of the emails, that they don't involve the Clinton server, or that they do. But frankly, it's hard to see what he'll be able to say that will answer more questions than it raises anew, which underscores the magnitude of the problem that he's created. So I think he has to try to do his best to shed some light, but I'm skeptical about his ability to do so in the waning days of this campaign.
And just quickly, Congressman Steve Cohen, your colleague, Democrat from Tennessee, is now saying that he believes Comey should resign. Where do you stand on this?
Look, I think this was a very serious error of judgment. That's, I think, all I'm prepared to say. Again, you know, this close to the election, this is not the kind of issue you want to introduce when you really can't inform the public of anything. And I think it has caused a lot of the problems that we're seeing. And it just shows why this department policy is so wise and why the departure from it is so fraught with peril.
Congressman Adam Schiff, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.